Yeah, for the last couple of years or so, I've been using this top keyboard, the Nord Electro 5D, which is a 61 key keyboard. You can see it goes from the C. It's a 5 octave. So you got 2, 3, 4, 5 octaves, and I just got the upgraded version, which is the 6D. It's actually been out for a while. It's a 73 key version of pretty much the same thing. It's got the same basic setup. You got your organ module, piano module, and a synthesizer sample player, basically sample synth module. This one has all three of the same basic config, but some slightly different bells and whistles. I'm really excited, mainly because of the extra octave now that I have, because I used to run out of keys sometimes when I was playing, and that's really annoying when you can't execute a passage, or you can't play some lower high notes because you just don't have the keys. So I'm going to show you some of the features on the new 6D and some of the things that I find a little strange or interesting or annoying. Might be of interest to those of you thinking about doing the same upgrade. But yeah, I can tell you the quick answer is it's definitely, I'm very happy with a 6D. It's definitely worth it to have the extra keys, and it looks like hopefully I'll be able to get a pretty good price for the used 5D, which would mostly offset the price of the 6D. They're both pretty expensive keyboards. The 5D seems to be selling used for around 2,000, and the 6D went for, I think, about 25, so 2,500. So about a $500 outlay to get the extra keys and some cool new features. Hey, so yeah, the main thing again is the extra octave. So as I say, this is you got your 5-octave range here, and now I've got an extra couple of key. Well, it goes down to a low E down the bottom here, which is great. And it turns out I can use this so I can't do that on my old one. I run out of keys unless I do the octave switch thing, which is then I lose my my ability to do the high notes. I can still do here. And as you can tell, the keyboards really sound very similar. I've done this particular patch, which is just a piano and a string layered, with pretty much the same samples. The new the Nord 6D has some slightly different piano samples than the old one, which I actually like a little better. But you can go out and download those, I think, and put them on the 5, most likely, I think. But anyway, I do like these piano samples even better. And the keyboard actually has a slightly, I think, a little more of a piano-like feel even than it's pretty similar. I mean, they're comparable, but there's just a little more weight to these keys on the 6. So very happy with it so far. Okay, so one of the new differences here on the 6 is you can play all three. You can use all three synth engines simultaneously, which you could not do on the 5. You only could choose. You could choose from organ, piano, or synth, and you had 2 sound generators going. Here you've got up to 3, and you can pretty much you can get all 3 going. So they've eliminated that part of the interface. So if you wanted to, you could see here you could add an organ. I could choose organ here, and I could layer an organ on top of this patch, which might sound kind of weird. But anyway, you can do that. And there might be a few cases where with splitting and whatnot that could be useful. You can have all 3 going at the same time. But yeah, it's a little different the way you have to think about now. There's also in the old and the 5 you had this balance knob that would mix between the 2 synth engines. Here you've got independent knobs, so each synth engine has its own level control. There's the organ, the piano level, and the synth level here. And then you can choose lower or upper zones, which is a little different. Again, you just have to get used to it, and I'm still learning my way through it, so bear with me here. Hey, so something else I've noticed, difference between the 5 and the 6. The effects section here on the 5 has a switch for which part gets the effects. So here you could set you could set the low and upper, or you could have it could affect both or one or the other. You have to do the shift click thing here to switch between the two. Yeah, that was kind of cool. You could put EQ on both parts, whereas on the 6 you can only have the EQ affect one of the 3 engines at a time. You can switch this turns it on and off, and then with the shift, I believe you can switch between them. But you cannot have the EQ on both synth engines at the same time, which, as far as I can tell, and that's sort of odd. But it probably isn't a big deal. Here's another subtle thing. The reverb module on the 5 had these different states you could do, and it's sort of interesting. They had stage soft and room, but then you also have hall soft and hall, and so really, I guess, 5 different settings. These soft settings were kind of cool. I don't really, honestly, it's a little hard to hear. Here's what it sounds like. Let's go with stage. That's the stage reverb. Here's stage, I guess this would be stage soft, or maybe that's hall soft. It's kind of hard to tell. And then this would be, well, maybe this is hall soft. And then room. Yeah. What about just hall or hall? Yeah. So you get some subtle differences there, but there's like 5 different presets, and that's pretty much the only, and then the dry to wet balance, that's all you get. With the 6, you've got a little more, you've got 3 settings, so you just have that, but then you've also got this bright section, so I can do, I can apply that to any of them. And so that's the, what is that, the hall? Yeah. And with the brightness added, I guess you can, I hope you can hear that. It does sound brighter. Here's a room with a bright. Room is pretty short, and you can't really adjust the length of the reverb. You get what you get. And then stage, just kind of a medium tail, and that's with bright, and then without bright, a little darker. So I guess it's pick your poison. Not a whole lot of control over the reverb, but what they give you is pretty good, pretty decent. So the 5D, the delay module is pretty much identical to the 6. There's 3 different levels of feedback. So that's the first one. With 2, it's a little more. And then with 3, all 3, you get a lot. And you can control the balance, the dry wet balance here, so you can really go nuts with delay. And but it's the same, and here you can apply it to either the low part or the upper part. I don't think you can do both on any of the effects. You get one or the other. On the 6, it's the same deal. You got your 3 different levels of feedback: wet, dry, balance, ping pong, which makes for kind of an interesting effect. That's the same deal on the 5. But here you can affect piano or organ or synth. And I think, again, you only get to choose one of the 3. Yeah, even if you hold the shift key, it doesn't let you select multiple ones. So you just have to choose which one you want the echo to apply to, the delay, that is. And that's pretty much the delay feature. The speaker section, where you can do some it's like amp modeling. You've got your different amps, and It's pretty much the same. This is great for organ for the most part, and sometimes for electric piano sounds it's really good, and I'll demo that in just a minute. Okay, so here I've tried to basically create the same organ sound going from the 5 to the 6. So I've got the drawbars set up pretty much identical. I've got the B3 setting on the organ model, which is, you know, the B3, the classic sound. I've got, let's see, I don't have any vibrato going on right now. I've got some percussion. You get pretty much exactly the same choices, just slightly, you know, they're in different places on the keyboard now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then as I was talking, the speaker, what is it, compression, you've got some drive and some compression on here, and the twin, I guess, rotary settings are the same for the 6 and the 5. So it really sounds almost virtually indistinguishable. Here's the 5. So get some nice little distortion on that. And then that's pretty much it. You can crank up the, if you really want to get going with the distortion. And with the speaker, the rotary speaker effect is pretty much the same on both. You can really get and you can really crank it up here, and you get your, here you've just got your fast and slow and stop mode, and I think it's the same here as well. So again, pretty much the same. And yeah, anyway, that aspect of the keyboard is virtually identical as far as I can tell. I guess the one thing that is new on the 6 though is this dual manual capability. So you can set up a dual organ situation and split the keyboard like the old Hammond. So you can do like a B3 bass, and I think they have the B3 bass on the 5 as well, but I haven't really used it that much. So I, you know, not really sure, but I do think that is a new feature for the 6, and something I might be looking into if I get into playing more organ jazz stuff. But for now, I would say sound-wise, they really do sound pretty much identical. And it's just going to take me a little time to kind of reprogram all my patches. So I thought I would give you guys more of a comprehensive demo of the sounds on the Nord with better audio. So this is the 6D. I sold the 5D already. It's gone, so I can't compare them A/B like I was. But this should give you kind of an idea of how the 6D sounds, and I think there are plenty of demos out there you can hear. So I think the electric pianos are particularly interesting on the 6. This is the Whirly. It's got the Wurlitzer, and I think it's got a real nice sound. This is with got a little tremolo, a little chorus. Let me take the effects off so you can hear just kind of the raw sound with no effects at all. Oop, and I do still have this EQ on here. I hope you can see that. This is this new feature with the equalizer where it's got bright, medium, soft. I'm going to take that off as well. I love the release on that is great. It's a nice long sample, so of course as you get up into the high range, it's pretty accurate, I would say. but it definitely has that Wurlitzer sound. Here's the next Whirly 2, Wurlitzer 2. It says XL. Like this one too. Let's check out some of the other ones here. We've got a bunch of electric pianos, and I believe you can always change these if you like, but these are the ones that come factory installed and has kind of an interesting assortment. And again, here's with some of that EQ added. Soft. Well to the touch. The keyboard touch affects it, of course, too. If you're playing harder and you want more of a dynamic range, you can play around with those settings. Pretty nice. There's the brightness on there. The brightest of those EQs is pretty bitey. And again, I think this is where the Nord really shines, is in the electric pianos. The acoustic piano's good, but the electric piano, I think the Rhodes patches in particular really are where I feel they really nailed it, and they give you a lot of good choices. The dynamics on it is great, and yeah, adding some amplifier, different amp modeling to this can really give you some great sounds too, and get some little bit of that distortion and drive if you want. That's a little extreme, but yeah. It's a very cool sound. And here's the rotary speaker effect on there. Pretty cool effect, yeah? Which I think is great. And I love the how it slows down and speeds up when you turn it fast to slow. I've got a pedal actually that I use to hit that, so I don't have to take my hands off the keyboard. Can be very expressive. Yeah. Let's check out some more electric pianos. Shallow Close. Maybe stick a little phase shift on that. Try a couple more. This one's got a nice dark, kind of a dark timbre to it. And again, you can play around with these EQ settings or just take it off. Without any EQ at all, this one's nice and dark. Might be good for certain things. Let's try this one. Bright Times. You can really hear the hopefully the audio quality is good enough. You can hear the tines in there. Let's try Sparkle Top. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hear the sparkle as much. Maybe if I put some EQ. Kind of a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood sort of sound on that one. amplifier modeling going on that already, I guess. Yeah. All right. And this is the Nefertiti, which I'm not sure. I'll have to Google what that is. That's a model of Fender Rhodes, maybe. I'm not sure why they call it Nefertiti. Pretty good high end. But then we get back into the whirlies. And from there, yeah, we're into the harpsichords and the clavs. Some very nice clavinet sounds on this thing too. But again, comparing it with the 5, I would say it's pretty comparable. But there are a few more electric pianos to choose from here, and the EQ setting definitely enhances the electric pianos and the clavs to some extent. Gives it a little more interesting kind of dynamic thing happening. It's kind of weird how it combines these two guys with, with these settings. Bright, soft. I'm not sure what that means. Kind of like the DA. Got a nice sound with the little phase or a little chorus. Very nice sound. Very cool. Yeah, definitely pretty hard pressed. I mean, I know the real thing sounds even better, but honestly, for a live performance situation where you gotta, everything's got to be in tune and working properly, it's no maintenance. This is the way to go as far as I'm concerned. Very nice clavs. And then we're back in. Oh, we got some digital. Yeah, we got some DX7 here. It's a pretty good sample of a Yamaha. I want to get that 80s sound happening. Pretty awesome. Digital grand. Ooh, that's a pretty sweet ballad. On that sounds pretty sweet. It's got a little chorus already, I think. Hybrid electric piano. And that's it. I think we're at the end of the pianos. Didn't get into the acoustics. Let's do those real quick. This is Royal Grand 3D. Dark. I'm not a super huge fan of it, honestly. And let's get rid of this EQ just to hear it raw. I mean, it's definitely full sounding. But I don't know. This one I kind of like. to it. And again, I'm playing this all dry. A little reverb and a little EQ might really... Let's try the Grand Imperial. And oh, all this time I've had the EQ on, which probably should have pointed that out. I'm basically just putting a little bit of well, significant amount of gain in the upper register on this thing, because I just think it really helps in the upper, just to brighten things up a bit. Pretty much everything sounds a little better with a bump up around 4K, maybe 3K, 4K, and some treble. Let's go with Studio Grand. That's a nice basic solid piano sound. This one, let's put that EQ back. Let's even give it some of this. I don't know, this could be good for maybe that Philadelphia's sound with the thumbtacks. I'm not sure. Maybe that's what they're going for on that one. That amber upright. It's kind of more of a quiet. Couple of nice uprights. There's this Bambino. It's very cool. Kind of a let's put that really brightens it up. Let's take that all the way out. That baby upright. It's kind of nice. Yeah. Mellow. It is pretty mellow. So that's all the pianos. The last thing I really wanted to show on this, and I know it's getting long, but let me just go show you guys this cool feature where I can have, this is one of the main things I love about the 6, is I can have so it doesn't cut off when I change patches. That's the what do they call that? I forget. Continuous or smooth transitions. So I can finish this chord and then I can move to a new. And of course, I haven't demoed half the things. You know, all the synthesizer patches, the brass sounds. There's a bunch of great stuff on this keyboard. But that's one of the great features that was not on the 5. So I wanted to point that out, that that ability to change patches without cutting off is actually quite important, I think. So I hope this has been helpful. I apologize for the somewhat shoddy video quality, but hopefully that last section you'll be able to hear some of the nice sounds that the 6D has that are a little different, a little bit of an improvement over the 5. So hopefully it was worth it to sit through this video. It was worth it for me to show you guys this and for, kind of rationalize my purchase. And appreciate you hanging with me today. Have a great one. Keep on making that beautiful music. Take care.